We got 27 views on our last video. It actually went up. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, I really shared it. I sent it to most of my people. Like some of them sent me some text message. They're like, "Whoa, this message is dope." Like it's it's really now. I'm like, yeah, you guys. I actually so this what happened. I have my Ghana line, my
We're
Ghana
live, just
phone.
so you know. But yeah, we're just talking about our last video. So go ahead.
Okay, so it's just basically sharing it. I actually shared it on my status, and I told most of my friends to go for it. Like they should watch what is there and to let me know their thoughts and their feedback were man, it was very good. They were
Love
like,
feedback,
"Mhm,
positive, negative, constructive criticism. I take all of it, man.
yeah, very good feedback. Trust me, very good feedback. Like for most of them, it's stuff that they've never thought of before, and they like the presentation too. Like
Right.
they've never thought of before. Yeah.
We try to break it down, man. Like I always tell
Mhm.
you, you know this. You probably get tired of hearing me say this, but there's no reason to make things complicated. No reason at all. We can make it really complicated or simple. So let's just make it simple for everybody. If you want to make it
Yeah.
complicated, yeah, we can. Or you could go learn some other things, but it's totally not necessary. But anyway, it's
Yep.
another good Sunday. The market was down last week. The market probably
Man.
will be down this week again. Um, because we just keep getting a lot of bad news. I heard is it Germany who's putting things
It's
on
UK.
lockdown? Okay, for a month, right?
UK. Yeah, it's I'm like tomorrow is really going to be a roller coaster again. Like,
Man,
it's
because
going
I
to
know
be
you
another
married.
time.
I'm not married.
Yeah.
When my daughter's here, everything is great. But like when she leaves, because I'm not dating nobody, man, sometimes I go crazy just looking at these walls, man, and just they put us on another lockdown. Of course, I'm gonna do it, but I might not make it. I might not make it. As crazy as that sound, it's like, man, you can't like, no, man.
Man, be strong. You'll make it. Be strong, man.
I ain't gonna do
Be
nothing stupid
strong.
like those people who go and like refuse to wear their mask and be fighting people, nothing like that.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna have to get out. I'm gonna be taking those long Forrest Gump walks, to be honest with you.
Man, like I always say, like wherever you're going to, just make sure you have your marks on you. Just at
Yeah.
least, like try and have your marks on you because one, it's for your own protection.
Yeah.
Like it's for your own protection. I know a lot of companies are putting in a lot of work when it comes to staying 6 feet distance
Yep.
and all that. Yeah, I remember I took a bus recently and a gentleman entered into the bus and the driver was like, "Man, where's your max? Don't you have a max on you? I have a max to give to you for free if you don't have a max on you." Because the bus driver just wanted to make sure that everybody had their marks on. And to some extent, you may be thinking he's worrying you or he's disturbing you, but it's for your own safety and the safety of the people also in the bus. So whatever you have to do to survive, man, you need to do it.
Now I
Whatever
think
that
it's
you,
to the point now, man. People not playing. If you ain't got on your mask, I think as a whole, people like, you put on your mask, you gotta go. It ain't even up for debate no more.
yeah, like you just have to, man. But it has this week has been rough. Like trust me. I've,
But but I know everybody wanna know about the market, so let me just share my screen. All right, and hopefully you can see that now. All right.
yep,
So what are we
I
looking at? We're
can
looking at
see it.
Finviz,
Oh my
Finviz, right?
god,
All right.
yeah.
See all that red, and people like, what are you looking at? So we always go to Finviz, and there's other websites out there you can use, but we like Finviz because it's visual. So when we go click on these groups, and actually that's kind of good because we're going to talk about what these sectors are today. But I'll let you take it. You always cover
Okay,
like the sectors, the top three,
yeah,
bottom three.
yeah. So quickly, 1 day relative performance. We have 1 week. Let me jump on the 1 week at least. That gives us a cover of the week. We see communications, services, real estate, and utilities. And people, we just covering the basics. Okay, so just follow us, follow carefully, and I'm sure you Baumis understand some of these things. Like when I started at first, I didn't really understand anything, but gradually I'm getting there. So you see communications, everything is in the negative. If I'm right,
Yeah, you're right.
everything,
Everything's negative.
every every single thing in the negative. Like I think on Thursday, was it Thursday or Friday? Like I was at work and I was on my break and I just was logged on and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah.
And that I remember some months ago that question up again. Oh, I can see your whole screen here. Um, your desktop showing. Um,
Oh, sorry. I
yeah,
forgot I moved it. Yeah.
it and 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 trust me, I remember asking you this question: what should I do if everything is falling? Should I
Oh.
sell out my position? Because I don't know you can remember. I kept on badging you with that question, like, what
Hmm.
should I do? Because it's like you're sitting down, you're kind of losing, like money is everything you put in is it's going down. And I remember you said if you're not a day trader, a swing trader, and you are into the long term, you shouldn't worry about these things. It will go down, but most of the time it kind of goes up again, in a very good speed. So I'm like, okay, let me just hold on. And we see communication services are down, negative 3.8, real estate down 4.25, utilities down 4.39. Man, it's been rough. And I hope people have not sold their positions. I'm hoping people have not sold their positions or if they sold investment. Yeah.
So it's funny you say that because if you look at these are the top three, and it's sad that they're all down. But um, if you look at it from a 1 day, everything is down. You look at it from a 1 week, everything is down. When you go back to this month, at least utilities is up 2.6
Yeah.
percent. But when you start adding more time to it, you'll start seeing besides energy, most of these things, are up, especially when you look at the half a year, half a year, like all you see is green. So, communication services for the half a year for the 6 months is up 20%. So, if you worried about this 3.8% decline in the last week, well, if you would have got
Hmm.
in 6 months ago, you'll still be up, and you probably wouldn't be worried about it as much, you know,
Yeah.
especially if you would have got in a year ago, and consumer cyclicals or technology. So that's why they say time always wins out. Just be
Hmm.
patient.
Yeah. Time. Just be patient. I always say that stock market is one of the places that you can learn one of the greatest virtue, which is patience. Like, it will really teach you to be patient. It's really going to teach you to be patient. Yeah. So you just need to be patient.
I was the same way, man. I'm one of those like patience is not my strongest. It's just something I've always had to work on, to be honest with you. And this has taught me to be patient. Having a child
Yeah.
makes you patient, but this makes you extremely patient when it comes to business.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That is very true.
and then, and if you really look at this, here's why we kind of look at this because there's always trends. If you would have been investing years ago, it probably been a nice trend to invest in energy. But as you can see,
Hmm.
energy stocks are down for the last 3 months, a half a year, even a year, because obviously we're transitioning from, those bad fossil fuels to clean energy, all kind of alternative energy. So that's why we
Yeah.
kind of always look at this, and it makes sense why communication services are down, real estate, because of the pandemic. So when you
Hmm.
go look at this group, well, not group, the map. So I don't have to explain to you about real estate why real estate is down, because nobody's going to the mall, nobody's going to these grocery stores, nobody's shopping. So real estate as a whole should be down. That makes sense. But when you look at communication services, eventually that might go up. You know, um,
Yeah.
and it went down because a lot of these companies had like Netflix, Facebook, they had the earnings report. And I think Facebook earnings reports was good, but I think the number of users declined. And the same thing with Netflix. I think it was good, but they also had one negative, or I don't think their future outlook was that bright. So maybe that's why it was down. But I know
Yeah. Because I kind of watched I was wondering actually, even though they had the earnings report recently,
Yeah.
Netflix, if I'm right, but
Hmm.
their stock was actually going down. So I was like, what is happening? I thought normally if there is some earnings, the stock kind of goes up.
It depends. It
Mhm.
depends. Because sometimes, the savvy investors, if they already know the stock is going up and these market manipulators, they'll drive it up, right before earnings. So you might have heard this phrase plenty of time, buy on the rumor, sell on the news. So when
Mm,
you hear a rumor like, oh, they're going to have a good earnings report, people start buying and it'll drive it up 10, 15, 20%. And some of those latecomers say, oh, okay, earnings report come out today. If it's good, it's going to go up. They didn't factor in, well, we didn't already drove it up. And so when it
mm,
starts tanking off of good news, you're like, what the hell? Like, yeah, they didn't
okay.
already drove it up and made their money. So that happens a lot.
Mm, okay. Okay. Okay.
But
That's
all right.
understandable.
In that case, we ready to get to the gist of it. So I'm pretty sure, I try not to, we have to have a little dialogue in the beginning, but I try not to talk too much. I've watched other influencers, and sometimes I was like, man, would you just get on with it already? Teach what you're gonna teach today. So let me just swap this real quick, and you should be able.
IPOs.
How the stock market works. We're gonna talk about, what is an IPO, the three
Mhm.
major stock indexes, stock market sectors. Then we're gonna cover some terminology. I think every beginner investor should know, and briefly probably go over how to buy and sell stock. So let's start with an IPO. How much do you know about IPOs, Kaiser?
So IPOs. I know my little research on them or on IPOs. Basically stand for initial public offering.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, yeah. So all these small companies or sometimes even big companies that are not listed on the stock market, um, they kind of feel that okay, we've gotten to a point whereby um, we want to raise more money for our company to run the business and also get the business out there for people to also have a share in what we're doing. Remember, if by the time you are giving it out, you are giving people the opportunity to take a bite of the company or a piece of the company. It's like having a pizza in your hand and dividing it into very many parts for people to take a share of it. So IPOs actually initial public offering. So I don't know how the process or the structuring is done,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it has something in relation to investment banks where they value whatever that you have. They
Mm-hmm.
go into that very well to let you know, okay, from what the way we valued your company, uh, this is the amount that it should go on the stock market. So uh, yeah, that's the little that I know about IPOs. Yeah.
You're right on the money. Yes, initial public offering. So, let's say I had a private company and it was doing very well. I want to take the next step. I wanted it to grow. So let's just say I'm only in America and I wanted to grow outside of America, or I'm just in one state and I want to grow across. I want it to be nationwide. So to grow the company, we all need money. And so to get this money, you only have a few choices. You could go to the bank and get a loan, but you're going to have this, whatever the interest rate that they charge you, or you could kind of do an IPO. So when you do an IPO, basically now you're going to take your company from being private to public. And so before you do that, like you say, you go to the bank and they'll look at your business and they'll put a value on it. So that's why you see step number two. It might come back and say, okay, looking at your business, it's worth $2 million. Okay, and so now they're going to say, yeah, we're going to do an initial public offering. And so your company is valued at $2 million. And now when they do an initial public offering, people like myself and yourself and anybody else, now we can invest in it. And they're going to take your company and they're going to divide into a whole bunch of little pieces, right? And
Okay.
so like you see here, it says, okay, they concluded the bank was your company is worth 2 million. And so they're going to say, okay, we're going to divide into 100,000 shares. So now this company broken down to 100,000 shares, and at $20 per share, it equals $2 million. So people who actually come in and buy shares of the company, but now we're really considered part owners of the company now, since we own actual shares of the company. And so then you see in step five, your company is listed on the stock market. So they'll give you a ticker. So like my name is Terry Clark. If I had a company called Terry Clark, my ticker might be TWC. Kind of like AT&T is T, Walmart is what? WAL, I think.
W. Yeah.
Yep. And so now other people could buy. And so now that you're publicly listed, now the bank can say, all right, well, bam, you sold all these shares, here's your $2 million to grow your business, and you use that $2 million to grow your business. But now that you're public, then you have to go by certain rules and regulations from the SEC. So all your financial information needs to be public. That's why they do these earnings reports to see, how the
Okay.
business is doing. So
Okay.
that's just a simple way of looking at it. That's what an IPO is.
Okay.
So I don't know if any, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I can't see.
So when it comes to the IPOs, basically, like are they? I know most of the time when they are listed on the stock market, um, people actually rush into them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know whether that's the next slide that we're going to go on, but so a little bit that I've studied about them is you realize that um, when they're on the stock market, you have people rushing into it. Sometimes the stock goes very high. I mean, like on that day, it goes very high. Then all of a sudden, you see it coming down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. And I'm wondering what exactly could be the problem. Is it that the people just traded? People we had day traders in there that really rushed on the stock just for that day, or what really goes on?
See, this is why it always goes back to long-term investing. When you're swing
Mhm.
trading and day trading, those people are greedy, man, and they would do anything to make a dollar. And so they drive it up. So they
Mm,
buy initially and they drive it up. And let's say it goes from 10 to 20. I just doubled my money and I sold. Other people coming in, oh, this company just IPO. This is the next greatest thing. It's the next Tesla. This is the next Amazon. It's just going to keep going up. And as a savvy investor or a long-term investor, nothing continuously just grows up in a straight line. It's got to come down a little bit. And so, the uneducated or the people who try to become millionaires real quick, they'll rush in and buy at 20, like, oh, it's going to keep going up. Or the people who bought
mm,
at 10, like, oh, cool, I found me a dummy. Let me go ahead and sell and double my money real quick. And then when it starts crashing back down, it goes back to 10, they buy it again.
okay.
They just
Okay.
keep,
That's yeah.
cycle and
Mm-hmm.
rent, cycle and repeat. They just keep doing it over and over. So one thing you should know about an IPO, and this is generally the case for all IPOs. There's no reason to rush in and buy. You can if you want to. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
might make a quick buck if you want to, but you got to think about it. They IPO because they didn't have money to grow the company, right?
Okay.
So when they IPO and then they sell all these shares, they got to take that money and now use it to grow the company. So it's kind of like Tesla. If you go look at it, Tesla, even go look at Apple. In the beginning, their stock was pretty much flat while they was growing the company. And when they showed a history of continuously producing a profit, that's when the stock start to take off. And you usually need to do that for 4 quarters straight in order to show like, okay, now this company is profitable. And so that's a whole year. So that just tells you have at least a year in most cases to catch a company in the IPO. You're not gonna miss out.
Mm,
You're not gonna miss
okay.
out.
Okay.
So
So I think it then also even even if you're going into IPOs, it all boils down to you trying to make your research also about the company, just as you said, like, and they are looking to raise money, so they are
right.
in for money. So obviously, the first time is going to be uh, good for them. You have a lot of companies trying to jump on, and I mean, people trying to jump on to try and
Yeah.
trade that stock and all that. Yeah.
Yep. And kind of like we were just looking at this when we were looking at E-Trade, like insider activity. Think about if
Mm-hmm.
you one of those top executives and you started this company and you was taking a lower salary, but you was getting compensated via stock. And then 5 years later, you IPO and and the stock goes up 50, 75%, and you sitting on 10 million shares. Hey man, I might go and sell a million, get some money, make a quick
Mm-hmm.
buck, and I still got shares out there. So, that happens a lot too. Especially if you
Yeah,
plan on leaving a company, it's like, okay, we just IPO'd and the stock already doubled. Yeah, let me take some of this free money off the table.
that's true. That's true.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah.
So now the
Okay.
three major stock indexes. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people hear the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq. Like, man, well, why the hell? What
What
the hell does that
what
mean?
is that? What is that? What does that mean?
What did you
Yeah.
thought it mean when you first heard it?
Yeah. So trust me, when I for me, the very first time I heard of them, I, it was all the way back home in Ghana, right? Like I kind of see them in the news once a while. I'm like, what does this relate, or what does this uh, do for me personally? Like, because
Yeah.
I didn't understand what they meant until I did my final research about them. But first, I was thinking they were like probably group of companies, or group of companies in the place. And I even want to use this to throw out the information there, especially my African brothers who are watching us on this channel. So, for example, if you take a typical iPhone, right, you see a lot of apps on it, and one of the apps that comes with the iPhone is the stock app. It's right there, the stock app. I was having a conversation with a friend recently. He was like, "Man, I've been buying iPhone for years. I don't know the use of that particular thing." Like,
Oh, I didn't know they had that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because for people in Africa, most of the places in Africa, most of the countries, um, you don't have the ability to just buy stocks just like we were doing on Robinhood, and
Yeah.
so easy like that. So for them, it makes no meaning to them until they begin to look into investment. They begin to look at uh, how America and Europe also affect transactions and businesses also in Africa.
Oh
Then those things are going to make meaning to you, you know, and beyond that, the S&P 500 is going to make a meaning to you because the iPhone that you are using probably maybe in one of these indexes somewhere, and it's
Oh,
also
it
going to
is.
make meaning to you. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
was just explaining a few of that to a couple of friends, and I'm like, man, S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq, you need to be having information about them. Like, they make a lot of meaning. Yeah. But personally, when I started, it meant I had no idea, no meaning to any of them. Like, yeah.
You know what? I keep forgetting. If there's this company, Jamia, I really need to ask if any of your African friends really use that website because I feel
Jumia,
like
right?
yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I'm an idiot. I missed that one. I was looking at Jamia when it was literally $3 to $4 a share. And I was looking,
Mm.
but I didn't know nothing about it. I was doing research. All the research was negative, and it was like, man, that's like the Amazon of Africa. And I was like, it's got to be good. And I held on to it for like 3 months, and it didn't do nothing. And eventually, I
And you
was like,
pushed
all
it
right,
out.
yeah, yep, I blew that one. I blew
So,
that one. I forgot what it said
yeah.
now, 15, $20 a share,
Yeah,
something like that.
so I also almost sold it. That was when you remember I came to actually do know about Jumia,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I because I bought it at 20, and the next day it was going down.
Hmm.
I'm like, what? What is happening here? 20, because I had a friend who is called Emmanuel. He's into investment and all of that. He kind of shares some insights to me with me most of the time. And he was like, Jumia is not bad. You should look at it also. Um, go into their financials and see a little bit about that. I went in there, I didn't really see anything so like,
Hmm.
fascinating. So I'm like, okay, let me just all the same, let me just give it a try and see what they can do. Uh, because it had the whole Africa connection to it.
Yeah.
Because back even in Ghana, we have Jumia, like you see it where people buy stuffs there, they purchase stuffs there. But I came to realize that it has a Germany connection. I
Yes.
don't know whether they are head office. So I was like, How come an African stock and it has a Germany connection? Who are those behind it? So I kind of lower my position on that a little bit. Then boom, it started going down. So right now, I can see right now, Juma, it's 14.96 for a share. You know, it was
Oh, really?
20. It's all the way down to 14. Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
should I still hold on or I should wait? Should I hold on or I should wait? But I'm like, let me hold on for some time and see what
Well, if
what
any of your
what
friends
comes
keep
up out of
saying
that.
like, yeah, we use this all the time. This is we're gonna this is like the household, Amazon or whatever they call it. Then it's like,
Yeah,
okay, then I might jump on it. Anyway,
uh,
sorry to get you off track, but
that's right.
when you look at the major stock indexes, basically this is used as a gauge. It's like a benchmark. That's pretty much all they
Okay.
are. These are not stocks individually. These are not companies. They're just, instead of looking at individual stocks, they look at them as a collection and to see how the economy is going. So when you look at the S&P 500, and these are actually clickable links, you know that. You could go. It's going to take you to investopedia.com if you want to do some more research on them or not. But basically, all you need to know that the S&P are the top 500 companies in the world. I think it's actually 505. You know,
Yeah.
these are the top 505 companies in the world. So you're going to find your Facebook, your Apples, your Amazon. Tesla hasn't made it yet. Uh, and we're going to look at this a little bit. We were just looking at this on FinViz. And so that's why they always say the S&P 500. And the same thing with the Dow Jones. It's just another index. These are the three most popular. So the Dow Jones, it's only about 30 stocks. That's it.
Okay.
30 stocks.
30 stocks.
And it's
Okay.
usually industrial. And it kind of changed here lately. Because I know, let's just scroll to the bottom. So you can see some of them like 3M, American Express, Chevron, Golden Sox, Home Depot, J&J, Microsoft. What was just recently added? Oh, Walt Disney. I wonder if Walt Disney always a part of it. But I want to say Exxon Mobil was on here and they got kicked off. But so just know that it's just 30 stocks. 30 stocks. That's stocks. That's pretty much all it is. And then the
Yeah.
last one is the Nasdaq. Um,
Yeah.
so the Nasdaq, as you can see, is over 3,200 publicly traded companies. So like,
Mm-hmm.
if you know the S&P is the top 500 companies in the world, or top 505, the Nasdaq is only 30. I mean, not the Dow Jones is
Dow
only 30.
Jones 30. Okay.
The Nasdaq is pretty much all the other stocks. So a lot of stocks that we just talk about that may IPO, they gonna IPO on the Nasdaq and get some time to grow. So you'll see companies that you don't see in the S&P, like PayPal, and a whole bunch of biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies, and things of that nature. They're all be
Yeah.
on the Nasdaq, and
That's
that's it.
that's that's cool. Yeah.
That's it. It's
That
other indexes, but these are the three main because they just like to say, okay, the S&P went up 1%, Dow Jones went up 1%, Nasdaq went up 2%. People are like, what does that mean? That just mean the economy is doing good. That's it. That's it. That's just
yeah.
a benchmark.
I kind of also I chanced on a particular link. I don't know whether if you know about Slick Chat, slickchat.com.
Mm-mm.
That is SLICK.
Right,
Slick Chat. Mhm.
there.
Chat. No, the
Oh,
chat is CHARTS.
Slick
Yes.
charts. Oh,
Yes. Slick Chat. Yeah. And
okay.
it kind of gives
Oh,
you good. So you see the S&P 500 there, you see the Nasdaq there, you see the Dow Jones, and when you click on it, it gives you all the kind of companies. So I think what you clicked on first was the S&P 500. It gives you all the companies under them, and it kind of gives you a basic breakdown too. You know,
nice.
all the listed, yeah, and you see the percentage movement and all that in the companies. Yeah. So that's one of the cool side that I also use see or go through
Okay,
them sometimes to see. Yeah.
that's a
So
good site. Never heard of this, but
yeah,
It's visual.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, right away, it's just like, all right,
Mhm.
I don't have to figure this out. This is very simple. I like it.
Yes, that's one of the things I really like about it. Like, so if you're watching us, you can also check that out. It's going to help you do your basic visual um, things that you need, and basic informations that you also need. Yeah.
Learn a new website every day.
Hmm.
They just keep
Yeah.
coming. All right. So
Okay.
now people know, okay, they know what an IPO is. They know the different indexes. A lot of things that people overlook is the market sectors, and there's 11 of them, and I have them all broken down right here. So you can see you got energy, materials, and I mean, people could read. Um, well, you know what? Let me go through them because energy is self-explanatory. Materials is kind of like basic materials. Any materials you might be using to build, semiconductors or just any kind of basic material. Industrials, that's pretty much self-explanatory, but a lot of people are confused about consumer discretionary and consumer staples. Just know that consumer discretionary is anything that you need to live. So yeah, you need water
Okay.
to live, you need food to live. As crazy as it sounds, I think they say you need alcohol to live. These are your everyday items that it's kind of mandatory that you have to buy. You know,
Mm.
Consumer staples are things that are non-essential. So kind of like a cell phone, a car, and things like that. That's not really essential, but it's a nice to have.
So that falls under consumer staples, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then of course, healthcare, financials, information technology or technology, telecommunication, cell phone, wireless, and then utilities and real estate. And yeah, it's important to kind of know these, right? So you can kind of click on this link if anybody wants access to this, or you just go to Investopedia. That's kind of like
Hmm.
the best site to go to if you're trying to really
Yeah.
learn.
No. Mhm.
It really is.
That's true.
But I'm gonna click on this other link. It's gonna take us to FinViz, and bam, that's what we was looking at when we first went live. And the reason we look at this, like I said, is not only to see trends, but if you're in the healthcare industry, and you've been in that industry for a while, it kind of makes sense maybe for you to look at healthcare stocks because you understand it. So they say, when you're investing in something, before you invest in it, it's very important that you invest in something that you understand. So I'm a tech guy, so I understand information technology, telecommunications. My father was into real estate. I understand real estate, but I'm not much on materials. Basic materials, I know nothing about that. So, um, not that I would 100% stay away from it, but I do because I don't understand it. And so that's why it's important for people to know these different market sectors. You can come over here and
Yeah.
just invest in what you know, right?
Hmm.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. At least that whatever that you're spending or wherever you're spending, it's under a particular category. So if you are really interested in something, like maybe for you, you are always into let's
I mean,
say
like tech,
clothes,
yeah.
or you're into the tech um, sector, whatever that you do, it's around the sector. You kind of know um, the, the kind of sector that you belong to. So it streamlines the whole thing down for you, so that when you go into that particular sector, you know what is going on there. It really helps you a lot. You know what is going on in that particular sector, and it also gives you an informed decision when it comes to your investment. If I'm right, it gives
Hmm.
you a very good informed decision when it comes to your investment. If um, at least you know that we have 11 sectors, um, and everything that it looks like every single item that you have in your home or your house will be under one of the sectors.
Boy, that boy getting good because yeah, I don't know where you got that from, but I done heard that a lot. And you're right.
Hmm.
Most people don't realize, right now we're looking at the S&P 500. So
Hmm.
all these companies right here collectively make up the S&P 500.
S&P 500.
And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
because
sure
and
that,
that correct. Okay, continue.
I've said I'm pretty sure that you know about half of these companies right here, at the very least half.
Hmm. I'm telling
Because if
you.
I ask you, like, have you heard of Amazon? Yeah. Home Depot, yes. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, yeah. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, okay. Even if like I say, this is why it's good to look at these sectors. Like, say, if I go to the healthcare sector, J&J, yeah, I heard of J&J. Merck, yes. Amgen, yes. Gilead, okay. So let's go to another sector. You know, you might go to real estate. I don't know much about real estate. Have I heard of American Tower Corporation? I've heard of that one, believe it or not. Have I heard of Equinix? Yes. What about this SBEA Communications? No. So that's one that I don't know. But you could go through most of these and you realize this that you know half of them. And like you say, you use this every day, whether you
Yeah,
realize it or not. I mean,
every day,
so I'll
every
let
day.
you get
Like,
that one.
trust
Like,
me.
which companies you see that you use every day?
Yeah, I sometimes on my break I try to get some Chipotle to eat. I see Chipotle there in the S&P 500. It's right there. Like, it's right there. Chipotle is right there. Um, so it's eBay is right there.
Okay.
eBay is right there too. Um, I kind of tried to look at some few stuffs on there, and I was surprised that I even saw, unless maybe I'm not seeing it right. I saw Ross store.
Yeah, Ross is probably it's over here somewhere. Yeah, Ross Stores is in here somewhere. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's probably over here because Target is over here,
Yeah, Target
Walmart,
is over there.
probably thing. It is in here.
It's not there
No, I'm saying it's
because
here
I saw
somewhere.
that.
I just don't know exactly where
Yeah,
to find it.
because when I open Slick Chat, it gives you the list of almost everything. Because this is in the form of a graph, it's very difficult for you to see. So the SM go all the way down to like 179. Mine is actually numbered. So
Oh, yours is
um
numbered. Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't know why
maybe if I
yours is
click
not
it,
showing.
there, if I click on these
Uh
companies, there you go.
yeah,
That-
you see 179.
yep.
Yeah, Ross is right there. Like almost all the company, everything that you use at home.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Yep.
Colgate there. You see T-Mobile there. You see, I'm on T-Mobile. I see T-Mobile there. Like, you know, uh, every single stuff is there. Trust me. Like almost
Everything
all
is.
of them.
So
Yeah.
we'll break it down by each sector. So you go to technology.
Yeah.
Um,
Technology.
we're on the internet right now. So most people, we probably on the Microsoft server.
Mm-hmm.
Either Microsoft providing it or Amazon Web Services are providing it. Actually, we're using, I don't know who owns Zooms. I don't think Microsoft, but I use Microsoft Teams every day at work. So I definitely use Microsoft. Go to communications. I mean, we use Google every day. I use Facebook every day. Consumers, I order stuff from Amazon. Consumer defensive, there's Walmart, Coca-Cola. Real estate, I probably use one of these. Actually, this is for cell phone towers. So yeah, I've actually used this. Utilities, we all use utilities. These basic materials, I'm pretty sure it's in something that I own. Energy, Exxon Mobil. Yep. I go to Exxon Mobil to buy gas. Industrial, Honeywell, I'm pretty sure, General Electric, 3M. Everybody use products at 3M, whether you realize it or not. Healthcare, they're trying to give us this vaccine, so most of us probably gonna be taking it from J&J or Amgen or Bristol Myers. Medical devices, finance, we all use Visa, Mastercard, PayPal. And so this was crazy. Now that when you see this and you realize that you use this in your everyday life, you got to ask yourself, why are you not investing in something that you use every day? You use it literally every day. Why not get paid from it? These you see these companies making billions and billions of dollars off for the money that we all spend. Well, why don't you just invest in them and reap some of the benefits? So that's kind of how I look at it. So, yeah, we lost cards for a second. Oh, he lost his lights. He lost his lights. So hopefully he could join through his phone. But I'll keep going. Yep. So maybe he lost power. Hopefully I don't lose power here. But You use these every day, so hopefully you'll start taking advantage. All right, so let's get back to the slide and to Kaiser's able to join. Let me just tell him no problem. I'll keep going unless take no worries. I'll keep going. All right. All right. So next we're going to look into selecting a, oh, there he is. There he is. I'm gonna wait for him to come back in here. So I just submitted him. Yep. I hear his voice, so he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know. I'm trying to we just trying to fix this thing real quick. But I can hear you. You can still continue, even
Okay,
though. Yeah.
cool. So now we're talking about selecting a brokerage account. So just know to buy any stocks, you do need a brokerage account. I'm just going to make this simple, some pros and cons of how to use one. So just know this: a lot of people are scared about putting their money in a brokerage account. I keep very little money in my actual savings account. If you go look at our videos from 2 weeks ago, you'll see why. You don't make any money by putting it in the bank. But a lot of people are scared to put it in a brokerage account. And I don't know why, because anytime I need money, let's say I could put $100,000 in my brokerage account. And just because you put in your brokerage account doesn't mean that you have to invest in stocks right away. You can let it sit there in your brokerage account just like you let it sit into your savings and your checking account, and it still draws interest. Another thing is, let's say I put 100K in there and only invest 90K, and the other 10K is sitting in cash, and I need some money. I could transfer money from my brokerage account to my bank account within 24 hours. So, like literally right now, well, tomorrow morning, if I make a transfer, it'll be there Tuesday. I don't mind waiting 24 hours for my money. So that's just something I think most people should know. So they shouldn't be afraid. But there's plenty of brokerage accounts to choose from. Me personally, I use E-Trade. I know Kaiser, he used E-Trade. He used to use Robinhood. But here's some good ones, whether you want to use TD Ameritrade. If you're not using E-Trade, I think a good one is TD Ameritrade. I heard some good things about that one, especially their Swink or Swim platform. I don't know too many people use Merrill. I used to use Merrill because I had a Bank of America account, and when they stopped letting me buy penny stocks, then I stopped using it. And I haven't
Okay.
used it since.
So you just can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just made a statement that when you used to buy penny stocks. Now I want to find out a bit about penny
Okay.
stocks. I've been trying to look into them. What is your thought on that? Is it that somebody who is starting investment, who has no knowledge about investment, should start from penny stocks because they are like cheap, they are small. I have for those that are learning, are also trying to learn, who are learning a lot from what we're sharing.
Hmm.
One of the apps that I can also throw in there, it's an iPhone app. It's called MindLearn.
Hmm.
It kind of also gives you the basics, and they really spoke against penny stocks. But
Okay.
I was wondering why. Like, and I've heard some few people are like, don't play with penny stocks. Like, it moves along a lot of speculations. What are your thoughts around that?
I think that person was right. Stay the hell away from penny stocks. So I told that story because when I was buying penny stocks, I knew nothing about stocks. When I first started investing in stocks, I just did it for the hell of it, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna try to trade stocks, and I bought a penny stock because yeah, I wanted to get rich quick. And I will never forget, I bought CTSO, Cytosorb. It's like a pharmaceutical company, I think, or a biotech company. And I think I bought it for like 15 cents. Yeah, and I just bought like, oh man, like $1,500 worth. And one day it went from 15 cents to $1.50. And man, I made like 5 grand. But I was only like, it's in my early 20s. I think I was like 21. And yeah, I had a good time with that 5,000. Um, and literally the next day it went from a dollar and something to like back to like 30 cents or something like that. Still would have made money, but with penny stocks, man, they're penny stocks for a reason because they're really really cheap. Yes, they could go from 15 cents to a dollar if the FDA drug get approved, but it takes so long. I'm not talking about 6 months, so it takes years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years before you really see your money, and you can lose a lot of money investing in penny stocks. So
Mm,
definitely stay away
okay,
from it. Definitely, without a doubt. Unless
that's
you
very
got,
interesting.
just stay away from it. And so, yeah, all these companies, I know people who actually use, Trade Station as a brokerage account, Fidelity. I don't know anybody use Ally. I heard decent things about Charles Schwab, and
Yeah,
Vanguard is good as well.
yeah.
But so any of
I
those
heard
will
some
work.
few good things about them too.
And of course, you could use Robinhood, and one that's not on here is Webull. Webull is a very good beginner's brokerage account. I use Webull every day, even though I don't have any money in it. But I use it for looking at day trades because it's very visual and informative. So, just real quick. So let's see what they got on here. Do I need to log in? So you can click on this market, and one thing I like about it is when I'm looking at day trading stocks, I can see all the top gainers for the day, whether it's in the pre-market or after hours. I can see all the top losers, the most active. And once you start trading, it's become very vital information. I can see news. I could click on any news and see what's going on. But also, I can see IPOs. We just talked about IPOs. So whatever this company is, Clip Interactive, they're gonna IPO on the 5th. So what is that like this coming up Thursday, right? And
Hmm.
they're gonna their IPO. They're gonna start at $4.13 a share. So that's some good information. And then we got some good, we were just talking about different sectors, but on each sector there's different industries. So you could go in here and look at the different industries and look at different stocks and see how they're performing. But and then what I really like for people who are just starting is they have this paper trading. So if you don't want to use your own money, but you want to learn how to trade, get your Webull
Okay.
account because they're gonna start you off with $1 million. So let me just log in here. So and you can see I actually did some paper trading. Where's my account at? Right here we go. So I got $1,075. So far, I made $75 paper trading. So it's pretty cool. You can come in here, see some stocks maybe you're interested in looking at, and you could buy and sell it with actually not losing your money, and you can kind of practice. So if you want to come in here and buy Tesla today, and you think Tesla's the stock's gonna, take you over the future, cool. You got $1 million. Go in here and buy Tesla in 2 weeks, see if it went up or down, and see if you would have lost money or not. That's why I
Okay.
like
So
people.
so so the paper trading there basically gets you to practice the same thing that you'll be doing on the actual stock platform
Hmm.
that you'll be using to buy your stocks. Like
Well,
but does it also favor um, anybody that want to go long term? Because this looks basically like it good for a day trader for me. Am I right?
you could use it either or because I haven't traded. I actually made a video when I actually traded this stock. It had to be at least 2.5 months ago, maybe.
Okay.
And you see, I'm still at 1,075.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can reset it and start over, but yeah, as long as you got an account, I think it's okay.
Sure. Sure. Okay. That's cool.
So actually, yeah, here we go. So does it tell me when's the last time I traded? I'm pretty sure if I keep looking, it'll show me. But yeah, so that's why I really like this. Besides that, I like the fact that you can come in here. I like the layout. So, if I want to just look at one stock, I can. But usually when I'm day trading, I want to look at four stocks, right? So I could look at Tesla, I could look at Apple. If I want to look at, I don't know, Facebook, I kind of look at them. I could throw all kind of indicators, and that's why I just really like this brokerage, you know. And yeah, of course they're giving out free
Yeah.
stocks right now if you kind of sign up, so that's always a bonus. So, but
Yeah.
those, to be honest with you, most of these stocks are for U.S. residents. Damn, I don't have it on here,
Yeah.
but that's let me just click on one of these links. I'm gonna add it. If you're a non-US residents, yeah, none of these are gonna help you. You need to use interactive traders, I think. I think that's the name of it. Yep, interactive trader.
Interactive traders. Is it also an app? I wanted to ask you that question sometime back. Is it also an app or okay? I see their page now. Interactive
The
traders.
interactive
That's
traders or
interesting.
brokers? Let me make sure because I just recommended this to a friend. Yeah, let me go back and check with my mentor Johnny because it might
Okay.
be. I know it's interactive. I don't know if it's brokers or traders because traders. This website don't look familiar. I've never seen these guys
Yeah.
before. I'm pretty sure it's this one. So I'm pretty sure it's interactive brokers. Yeah, because this looks familiar. But yeah, if
Okay.
you're non-US, yeah,
We can still look into it so that next week, when we have time, we can talk to people about it because I'm really interested in it because I think one time on Twitter I hear
let me look.
is it the investing tutor? He's on
Yeah,
Instagram. He's also a Ghana guy.
yeah, he's a
Um,
good guy.
yeah, yeah, and he mentioned trading 212. So I've been trying to find out whether it's also good because you know that for this most of these platforms here you need your social to
Yep.
log in and all that because they are genuine. They also want to make sure you're genuine because you're filing your taxes and all that. But back at home, things like social and stuff like that don't really work. So I'm trying to figure out how these things are going to work for people that are like in other, like, let's say my focus is like somewhere in Africa, because if you look at the graph beside you, the you see America, but you don't see any yellow mark on Africa. So I'm wondering whether it will really work there.
Yeah, because I'm looking back and Johnny told me interactive, but he doesn't have brokers or trading on there. But yeah, I
Brokers.
double
Maybe
check
yeah,
with him.
yeah. Double check with him and let's see. And maybe you can look into the trading 212 that I also spoke about.
Trading 212.
How genuine that also is. I'll be very grateful.
But yeah, that's I'm pretty sure it's this one because I remember looking at this map and like you say, I don't see Africa on here,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
oh, that just mean yeah, definitely got to look at this some more. But it's one of those things that you never think about it because yeah, I'm in the U.S. and then I was training this guy. He's from is it I think Bosnia. My friend Paul, and he's like, yeah, man, none of those brokers will work for me, and it took me a while before I found one for him.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure this was it, but I'll check with him as well because I think this is the one he
sure.
signed up for.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when you open up a brokerage account, there's a few, but most people open up a brokerage account. But if you have a Roth RA account, there's some pros and cons to using that. The main pro that I see is, when you have a Roth account, that's money that you already paid taxes on, right? And so if you invest that money, if you open up a Roth account and you choose to invest in a company, and let's say it goes up 100% and you sell it, as long as you don't take that money out, you're not taxed. You can reinvest it. And so that's one of the benefits of using a raw RA account. You don't have to pay taxes until you start withdrawing money. Then you're gonna have some withdrawal penalties. But me personally, I have a brokerage account. So brokerage account, there's no limitations on it. You can take out money anytime you want, but yeah, every time you sell, then yeah, there's going to be a tax implication. You don't have to pay the taxes right then and there, but yeah, at the end of the year, yeah, you're going to have to pay the taxes on it. So,
Okay. Okay. So let me really understand this. I see Roth also on E-Trade, right?
hmm hmm
Yeah. So let's say somebody has stocks. He's bought shares in companies. He has ETFs. He has index funds. He has individual stocks. Now, what role does the Roth play here that he needs to open a Roth account? Does that mean that it's another type of investment account that he can be putting money into it to use it? I mean, to invest in that, or what role does it play for the person?
it's all about taxes. At the end of the day,
Okay.
it's about taxes. This is, once you start having a large sum of money in there, This is why they mad at Donald Trump for only paying $750 taxes.
Yeah, that guy's wild.
Yeah. And you'll see, man, the more money you make, and if you just follow some of these secrets, you pay less taxes on people who make minimum wage. It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it goes. So if you have a Roth, I could continually invest in something and keep selling it. As long as I don't take any money out that account,
Okay.
then I'm okay. You know,
Mm.
when I start taking money out, then I need to pay taxes on it because there's a certain amount of time you have to leave it in your Roth account because it's
So
supposed to be.
let's say if I have $1,000 and I put in $1,000 into Roth, okay, does it also give me the opportunity to be adding up monthly,
Yeah, you
like
can keep
putting
adding
in
money in
money?
there. Yep. Long,
Okay.
long as you don't take nothing out, you could buy and sell, but the moment you transfer from your Roth account to your bank account,
Mm.
now you're looking at taxes.
Okay.
Now you're looking
Okay.
at some taxes because it's supposed to be a retirement account, right? So it's supposed to be when you
Yeah.
retire. So that's the
So
only
then that
thing
means
about
it's something that you don't really need to be um, aggressive too much
it.
in
Now,
it based on your age. You should know that maybe okay you should go aggressive in it or not aggressive in it. But generally, it's very good.
because everybody's different. Some people, me, I'm in and out my accounts. I might have a
Okay.
business opportunity. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take out some money and go buy an apartment complex. But some people like, you know what? I have money set aside for that. So whatever I put in this account, I don't want to touch it. I don't even really want to see it. Well, maybe a Roth IRA account is good for you, right? You know,
Yeah.
because you're not gonna be messing with it. But me, I'm a little different. So that's why I have this brokerage account. And another thing I need to add on here is a margin account. Um, I'll add that. So when you open up a brokerage account, they're gonna ask you, do you want to do a cash or margin? Just do cash. Just know that if you do a margin, that's kind of like having a credit card. So a margin is gonna say you put 2,000 in here, but we're gonna let you trade with 4,000. Basically, they're loaning you money to trade with. So they loan you money. Yeah, you can use their money to make money, but I don't like that because I don't mind losing my money, but I'm not gonna lose your money. I don't mind losing all my money and being at zero, but I'm not gonna lose all my money in OU money. So that's why I don't have I
Yeah.
have margin, but I don't use it.
Okay.
So
Because I kind of watch a lot of people who are like, okay, I grew my account from 5,000 to 10,000. Initially, I didn't understand until I got to read into some of these margins that they use, like and they're like, okay, so they kind of borrow you an extra 5,000 if you have 5,000. They loan you 5,000
mhm.
to grow the account. But that means in times like this, let's say Thursday and Friday, the way the stock market was really looking like everything went down like that. That
Man.
means you also end up owing them, right?
Yeah, like if shorten a stock or maybe you're in
Mhm.
an option and things don't work out, you could look up and like, man, okay, man, I'm down 5,000. And at any time, if you get down to a certain amount, they might say, hey, yeah, we need our money, all of it today. And if you don't have it in
Mhm.
cash and you got it in stock, they're gonna sell all your stock and get their
You're
money.
gonna say, wow,
So that's
interesting.
why I don't like playing with that. I don't like that game.
So I would say that for a young person, a young investor starting, those are good opportunities to use when you are really deep into it. If you feel you can, but if not, just use your own money to invest. Like use your own money, right?
Yeah, I think there's a story of this young guy on Robinhood. I don't know if he was doing options
The guy who
or
who killed
margin.
himself.
Yeah, killed himself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
just stay
It's
away from it.
options.
Yeah,
He, yeah, I think he was doing options. Yeah, I read that story.
just
Hmm.
just stay away from that because yeah. All right. And the last two things we're gonna kind of leave off with is
Yeah,
learning
time is
basic
up.
stock terminology, right?
Hmm.
Because you're gonna hear these over and over. So obviously, a buy means to buy shares of a stock.
Hmm.
Sell is the share sales of a stock. And then we got this thing called a bid and ask. So I might
Mm-hmm.
need to do this a little differently. I don't know if I can share it the same. Well, let's see here. Because I kind of need to, let's see here. Probably shouldn't have made this so big. All right, I'll just do it on the next screen. So the ask, damn it. No, there's only one way to do this. Sorry about that. Because you kind of need to be looking at a stock. I don't know why I can't just go back and forth between these. Let's see if this will work. All right, so let's just go. All right, what stock you want to look at? Just give me any stock.
So let's look at Apple.
Okay,
At least it's
cool.
common to everybody.
Apple. I freeze up sometimes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
There we go. All right. All right, cool. And bam. Yep, sorry, I might have to just share my screen like that because it won't let me do a watch and play mode. All right. And all right. So we're looking at the ask and the bid and the ask bid spread. So when you look at this, let me just drag this screen over here. Because I think you asked this last week, right? So when you look at this
Mm-hmm.
bid, so think about it like at an auction. So basically the stock is at $108.88. So a potential buyer, myself and yourself's like, okay, somebody right here is bidding $108.51 a share. Say, hey, I'll buy it at $108.51. Now, just know that this is the highest bid that somebody is willing to pay for this stock at this particular moment. There's some lower bids, but this is the
Okay.
highest bid. So then
Okay.
you say, well, what is the ask? Well, the people who own the stock said, okay, I'll sell it. The lowest I sell it right now for is $108.52. So until these two people meet somewhere in the middle, the stock is not going to be bought. That's pretty much all that is. I'm trying to buy it,
Mm,
so I'm bidding. And if I own the stock, I'm trying to sell. This is how much I'll sell it for. So that
okay.
is the bid. I mean the ask and the bid.
Nice.
So then
And
you
a
have
bit.
this ask bid spread. Well, what
Okay.
do you think that is? It's pretty much the difference between
So it's yeah.
so this ask bid spread is only 1 penny. And so if one person come up a penny or down a penny, then you'll have a transaction. All right.
Okay.
So then,
So my,
yep.
my question is, let's say I want to buy, maybe it's my first time buying Apple
Okay.
stock. Okay. From what you just explained, the ask and the bid.
Yep.
Now, if I have to buy, um, I should I, because I see the market price of the stock as 10868. Am
Hmm.
I buying that, or I should rather look at the ask price or the bid price and set a limit order on those prices to buy?
So if you've done research, then you should already know what price you want to buy it. So it
Okay.
just depends on what kind of buyer you are. Like if you one of these people who've done some research and done your calculations, says, okay, I've been looking at the chart, say I've been looking at it for the last, say, let's just do 6 months, and I noticed it went up to 134, and now it's back to 108. You might say, okay, if it drops back down to this level that was at, I don't know, September the 18th at 106, that's when I want to buy. Then you set your price at $106.84 and you just wait. Hopefully it'll make it. If it don't, then you might have to increase it. Or kind of
Okay.
like yourself, you might just say, I really like Apple stock. So every month I'm going to do cost averaging. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
strategy that we'll talk about later. But it's just every month, no matter what price, I'm just going to buy it at. And so it's
Okay.
really up to you. You just got to know if you're new, that the stock price goes up and down all day. That's why you see this. You know, when it first opened Friday morning, it was at $111.65. If you would have waited 16 minutes, you could have bought it at $1.09 and 6 cents, right? If you would have bought
Yeah.
it at like lunch, it would have been 109.85, right? And then yeah. So it depends on when you buy it.
Yes.
You know, 5 days ago, if you would have bought it, it would have been at $116. So that's why it's important to kind of do
Yes.
your research and decide, all right, what's a fair value that I think that this stock is worth? Because if you just come in here and
Mm,
like, okay, somebody's trying to sell at 108, it's at 186. Okay, maybe if that might not be the best strategy.
okay.
Uh,
Okay. So the ask and the bid
Just know,
shouldn't be the only uh stuff you should use to look at, like, because somebody will be like, okay, if it's being sold at 180, somebody's asking for 180.52, and the selling price or the bid price is 108.51. Okay, the difference, let me cup it in the middle. Okay, that's when how I want to buy
yep.
or how much I want to buy it for.
But you're only looking at that moment in time, right? So when you start
Time, yeah.
expanding it, it's like, oh, okay, you know, maybe. And like, and it depends on what's going on in the economy or, in the world at that time. If you know we're in a pandemic right now, he's like, okay, I could probably wait because yeah, if the elections go terrible this week, which it probably will, and the coronavirus, a lot of these stocks gonna be further down, you know. But once we get
Mm,
out of that and things start swinging up, then yeah, you might want to buy as quickly as possible, because stocks gonna start rising. So it's so many
okay.
factors that go into that, right?
Yeah. And that also means that the ask and the bid price doesn't stay the same within a day. It looks like then obviously to be changing every day.
It changes by the second,
By the second.
by the second.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Yep. Every second it changes. It goes up. It goes. Actually, let me see. I still got Webull open. Let's see here. See if I can show you. Why they don't have this open? Oh, here we go. So when this is live, these prices going up and down. It like literally 1 second it'll be 38.15, then it'll be 38.18, then it'll be 38.10. It changes by the second. So just know that. So the next one is bull. That just means it's a bull market. So they use bull market to say, hey, the stocks are trending up. That's pretty simple. And then the bear is the opposite. When they say it's a bear market, that means the market as a whole is doing bad. Prices are falling.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get into limit order, market order, date order. I'm gonna cover those later. It's gonna take about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I know we're rolling over time. We might go over 30 minutes today. That's what it's looking
Yeah.
like.
So can, should we do that next week? I think we should do that in our next meeting. Or what do you
You
think?
wanna you wanna cover all this next week? Because we're kind of like at the end of all this, to be honest
And
with you.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll cover these three when we talk about stocks. Volatility, that just means, how fast the stock moves up and down. So the more
Yeah.
volatile it is, okay.
Just
Going
like
long.
Thursday, Friday, right? It was really wild.
Yep. So you don't want a stock to be volatile. You don't want to wake up one day and it's $10 and wake up the next day it's $4. That's a very volatile stock. If you wake up and it's one day $4 and the next day is $3.97, that's fine. It's not that volatile. It doesn't change that dramatically, or it doesn't move up fast or down quickly. You really don't want that. Going long is just mean you're a long-term investor. So somebody say, on this stock, what are you? Short term? I'm long. That means you're probably holding it for 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
Averaging down, that's something we talk about all the time. So that's pretty simple. If I buy Apple at $100 a share, and then next week it goes down to $90 because of the economy or because of the coronavirus. Well, if I thought it was worth $100, then I definitely think it's worth 90. So if I buy it at 90, instead of having an average price of 100, now my average price is what, 195, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you average down your cost. So, it doesn't have to go back up to 100 for me to break even. It goes up $5 to 95, I'm back even. So that's what we mean by average down. And you hear that a
Average
lot,
down.
average
Yeah.
down. Okay. And we already covered IPO. We're going to cover this when I look at the stocks, float, and yeah, the rest of this we're going to cover real quick by looking at all of this. Yep. So we covered bid and ask. The day range is for that particular day. This stock went from $107 to $112. So, like I said, it depends on when you buy it if you're going to get a good deal or not. Same thing with the 52 week. That's pretty self-explanatory. In the last 52 weeks, the lowest it traded at was 53.15, and the highest was 137.98. Volume. That's how many people bought and sold this stock on Friday or the last day it traded. 190 million transactions. The average daily volume for the stock is 169 million. And this is important. So, when you're looking at stocks, you want this volume to at least be a million or so. And you'll notice
Okay.
that, new IPO companies. So I give you a great example, like this company called PSTH, right? Owned by Bill Ackman. It's a new company that's just been trading. So you can see the volume's kind of low at 1 million.
Yeah.
Last Friday was 700,000. If you see something trading at 100,000, 50,000, be careful because that means it's not enough trading activity in the day. So if you buy it and then you realize you're losing money or you want to get out, you might can't sell it that quickly because not enough people are
Okay.
buying and sell it in a day. But if you
Oh,
see one like this, 100 million transactions per day, you can sell this anytime during the day and you're gonna have no problem selling it. It'll sell like that instantly.
okay.
So
Interesting.
look at that.
Yeah. Okay.
Market cap is how much people think this company is worth. Not how much it's actually worth, but how much the investors think it's worth. And a quick calculation is pretty simple. So you can click on this statistics tab. The formula is the amount of outstanding shares they have times the stock price. So let's see how many shares they have. They have 17.1 billion, right? So you do 17.1 and it's trading at $108.86. Man, I wonder if I got to do the whole 17 billion for the calculation to work out,
Mm-hmm.
just in case. Did I say 17 or 171? 17, right?
17.
All right. That's 17 billion, right? All right, yep. And you multiply by the stock price, 108.86. That's going to give you a market cap. Let's see if I know what I'm talking about. 1.862 million trillion? Yep, 1.86. So based on what people are paying for the stock of this price and the amount of outstanding shares they have, it has a market cap of 1.86 trillion. That's how much people think this company is worth. Now, how much
Okay.
it's really worth, but and then it's beta, basically how much the stock market moves up and down. You want it to
And
be
down.
under one. So basically, the lower the number, the less it moves. So if this is, let's say, point 0.3 and the S&P went down like 1%, this might go down like a 0.2%, you know. But the higher the number, the more volatile it is. So it's 1.3. I forget, they don't have it in here, but I know the market was down on Friday, and so those two are kind of correlated. So
Okay.
just know you want something around one or under one. If you see something very high, actually, let's just look at something that could be high. Let's look at Tesla. I'm thinking Tesla should be high. That's Tesla's 1 point. Let's look at Nikola. They got a NA, so that mean it's could be, that mean anything could happen on any given day with that stock.
Mhm.
So just know, yeah, you want to kind of like a low number. All right, and we almost finished here. This PE ratio, the way that's called price to earnings relations. So these two are kind of related. So just know the way I like to look at it is whatever this number is, that's how long it's going to take you to get your money back if you invest. So if you invest in
Come again?
Apple,
I, I didn't hear what you said earlier on. You said the way that way?
the way I like to look at it, this PE ratio, price to earnings
Mhm.
ratio, this is
Okay.
how long it's going to take you to get your money back if you invest in this stock, 33
Okay.
years. And you say, well, how did you come up with that number? Well, they only earn this EPS mean earnings per share. So for every share or that you buy this company, they're going to make $3.28 profit, right? And so let's just do this, right? Let me see if I know what I'm doing. So the stock is trading at 33 times its earnings. So if you do 33.19 times 3.28, you're going to get $108.86. So even though they're only earning $3.28 per share, people think it's worth more than that. So they actually trading at 33 times its earnings. So you just do the math, right? So if you bought one share of stock and every year they paid you $3.28, it's gonna take you $33 until you get your whole $108 back.
Hmm.
That's how you kind of look at that. But that doesn't factor in dividends. But if they didn't pay dividends, it's gonna take you 33 years. And that's actually pretty decent, believe it or not. That's why they say stocks are long term, right? Because you're supposed
Yeah.
to hold it for 10, 15 years. All right. And then these last, not all of these have well, this is earnings date. So since they're public and we told you in the IPO, they must report their financial statements. So this just tell you when their next quarterly report, when they're going to report. It just tells you. So between January, yep, because they just reported. So the next one is, yeah, next year.
Next year. Yeah.
And then dividends. So dividends, just think of it as some companies to further incentivize you to invest in them. They say if you invest in our company and don't sell your stock, when we make a profit, we're going to share this profit with you in the form of dividend payments. That's what these are. And so when you see these, just know it's like I said, it's kind of like a bonus check. And so is going to pay you 82 cents per year for every share that you own. 82 cents. And that's what 75% of his stock price. 0.75% of his
Point
stock
seven
price.
five percent. Yeah.
So if you own, if you're lucky, let's say you own 100,000 shares, yeah, times
So that
0.82,
times,
yeah, they're gonna pay you $82,000 a year. They're gonna pay it out
man.
in quarters. So every quarter you get $20,500. You could do what you want with that. You could take that money and live off of it, or you could say, you know what? Don't send me any money. Just reinvest my money and buy me more stock in Apple and increase my equity in the company. That's how rich people keep getting richer. They get these dividends. Not only does their capital never change, it keeps going up, but when they keep giving these dividends, they buy more shares and then compound interest kick in and they just after a few years, they never have to work again ever.
Hmm.
Warren Buffett does
That's
that very good.
yeah. He for him when you listen to him, you realize that um because he had long-term positions in most of these companies. You just keep on collecting dividends just like that. Like
That's my plan. When I
it's-
get to a certain dollar amount, all my money going to dividend paying companies, and I'm just gonna leave it there and just not even really look at the stock market. To be honest with you,
yeah,
not.
just collecting. It's
Yep.
just collecting it just like
Because
that. Yeah.
and I got to just show you this. Like, just think about this right here, right? AT&T is $27 a share. They pay $2.08 per share, right? So
Yeah.
just if you had, that's just $27,000. And I know that's not a small piece of change for a lot of people, but you could buy your home 1,000 shares. Every year they pay you 2 grand. every year.
10,000 shares. Hmm.
And then if you keep reinvesting, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Yep, that's 7.7%. You don't you don't even get that from your bank. You don't even get nowhere close to that. That's like giving yourself a raise or buying yourself a raise. And then its
Yeah.
ex-dividend date is the date you need to own this share to get the dividend. So if you don't own this share by October the 8th, next time they pay their dividend, you're not gonna get one. You gotta wait to the next time.
Yeah, I think
So
you treated all that in the dividend slide. So maybe I'm sure when we're done with all this, we'll probably jump on that, and people will really get to understand us more. You
and
know.
it's as simple.
And
That's what the analysts think stock is going to be in a year, $31. So it's at 27. If you believe them, yeah, it could go up another $4. And the last one, just how to buy and sell trade, sell stocks. It's pretty self-explanatory. Maybe we could cover that next week because yeah, that'll take about 5 or 10 minutes if I really want to go in on it. So we'll close this, and I don't know if anybody's online because I'm not actually looking at YouTube. But well, what I will do is I'll stop sharing, and if anybody is online, they can ask any questions. If they ain't got no questions, then that'll conclude our teaching session for the day. Let me just log in and see. If not, I don't know if you got it. Oh man, I gotta mute myself. All right, we had somebody online, but anyway, if you got any questions, as always, you can leave a question in the comment section, and either me or Kaiser will answer it, or you could check me out, minority_investor, and send me a DM, or you could check out Kaiser. I don't know which one you want to leave your message on.
yeah, so yes, basically worship and wealth relay. Just yeah, worship and wealth relay. Just leave any question there. We'll come back to you. We'll try our best to answer you. But just as minority investors just said, we're treating the basics. I think this is like super important to know, super important to understand when it comes to dealing with the stock market. And we all need to know this. You don't need to. Somebody sent me a message and it was like, one time was like, how come I wasn't taught all this in school? Like nobody taught me this in
Nah.
school. I'm like, yeah, there are some things you have to learn it for yourself. Trust me, nobody's come to teach you. But thank God for technology, right? You have
Oh
the
God, thank you.
YouTube, yeah. You have the YouTubes, you have the Instagrams, you have all those places. So these are very good things to spend your time on. For me, I like it when I learn it, and I also try to teach other people to also learn it for themselves, so that at least at least if you don't know what you are doing with your money, know what is being done with your money when you take it to the bank.
Yep.
And yeah, know what is being done to it. And these are ways that you would, if you understand, you kind of help yourself. I know if I trust me, I had a friend, I had a friend actually, who used this investment to buy a house.
Hmm.
He's been in London for like a long time. He works with one of our uh, stores, like, and he was like really long on it, and I was really surprised. I'm like, okay, um, if you're patient and you understand what you are doing, gradually, um, it will really pay off. So patience is the key. Understand what you are doing. Send us a message if there's any question that you have. Watch the YouTube videos as we share with you. Write questions there, and we'll come back. We'll always answer you. You know, yeah.
It doesn't have to be about anything that we covered today. It could be anything related to stocks, because
Mm-hmm.
like you just said, you're not gonna learn this in school. You won't even hear too many people talk about it. Even when you watch the news, or even if you look at your apps, Robinhood and things like that, you never see commercials about, hey, let me teach you how to, buy and sell stocks. You'll hear commercials like, hey, open an account with E-Trade or Trade Station, but they don't never talk about teaching you. And so Yeah, just like you go to college, to get some formal education, take time to self-educate yourself because this could lead to generational wealth, which is something we've been missing out on for a very long period of time,
Yeah,
and that's no longer the
it's
case.
that's true. That's true. It's for me. It's I don't see it as I'm late in it, but some people started all the way from. I know people that started all the way from 11 years. You
Mm.
know, it was done for them when they got to 18. The whole account was handed over to them, and um, I don't envy them because they started early. Yeah. But I know wherever that whatever your age is, you can always jump on it. Just being disciplined with some things really help. Like it helps you to be disciplined with your finance. Like put a little of your finance here, put a little in your business, put a little in your family. At least have some money to be working for you when you are asleep.
Oh
You
man,
know,
agree.
yeah, yeah. It's putting your money to work when you are asleep because money only earned and spent means nothing. But money earned and spending a portion and also putting a portion to it to work. Trust me, I always tell people the same dollar amount that you have in your hand, that same dollar amount um, uh, can you can find that dollar amount in the hands of somebody in a store somewhere. That same so dollar moves, the money actually moves.
Mhm.
That is why we call it current or currency. Sorry,
Mhm.
it flows. It flows from one place to the other. Yeah. So you basically have to give it work so that it will flow towards the right direction. Okay. Somebody may make it flow towards buying things to use, and that is it. Another person beyond getting it to use it or buy things to use personally, he wants to put it in the direction so that it will flow towards a direction that it will make more money for him. You know, and for some of us, we're looking into having NGOs, looking into having donation points and stuff like that. And all these things need money, helping people here and there, all these things. You need money to do that. So let your money work for you and a little bit from the stock market, Yeah.
Yep. And
Hmm.
I steal this from Wall Street Trapper. I'm not gonna lie. I love how the brother breaks it down.
That
The whole.
that guy's a whole mood, man.
Yeah, I like him, but trading your time for money. Kind of like you just said. When you're at work, you can't make any more money, right? And you can only make money at your current job. You know, you have to trade your time for money. As long as you're there, you can have my time. You give me some money, but ideally, you want to choose what you do every day. Choose what time you wake up. Choose who you want to have lunch with. Choose if you want to do some work today or not. But you can't do that as long as you're trading your time for money because somebody else is occupying your time and paying you a little bit of money. So you can't really make it, to a point where you're financially free and get to choose your own life, you know.
Yeah.
But once you start investing and get to a certain amount, then yeah, you choose the life you want to live. But anyway, I guess we'll start off on that next week. I know we've been on for what 2 hours today, right? Hour and a
What?
half today. Hour and a half. Yeah. Well, we started early, kind of rehearsing, but yeah, we've been
Okay.
on for like an hour and a half. So we'll leave it at there. I don't know. Yeah, I'll be on next Sunday. I don't know your schedule, but
Yeah. I think we'll work around that towards the weekend and we'll see how it goes. And Bombs we jump on. We have some. I have some. I have some time there for us to work.
okay. If not, yeah. But regardless, we're gonna start bringing on guests. I can always bring
Yeah.
on Johnny and some other people. So yeah, gonna get some
Sure.
more followers, and then we'll start bringing on some guests.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good. That'll be good. At least.
So yeah, anybody
So
who
okay.
watched this, I know we're at the end, but yeah, tell them to like and subscribe, grow our subscribers, and yeah.
Yeah, I've been sharing it right when we started. I've been, from YouTube, you can there's a share button there that you can share through text messages. You can also share. So yeah,
Okay.
I've have a couple of people. I've told them, hey, I'm on. Sometimes the time difference, they kind of delay a bit, but we always jump back to like to share and all that. Like, it's
All
free
right.
information, free information. So
Yep.
You have
And we
to
got a
grab
lot
that.
more
Yeah.
coming. A lot more coming.
Mhm.
Cool, Kaiser. I talk
Okay.
to you all the time, man. So yeah, have a good one, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Sure, bro.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
All right.
Have a
Yep.
blessed one. Take care. Bye.